So I'm starting with a few words, or rather two questions from Lao Tzu. Do you have the patience to wait till the mud settles and the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving till the right action arises by itself? Equanimity. Sometimes equanimity can feel unattainable, and sometimes it is, at least for the moment, or maybe for a long while. I love the questions that Lee asked. How does equanimity feel in the heart and mind? How does equanimity feel in breathing and in the body? These are inquiries, questions about our direct experience, and we become more intimate with direct experience in the practice of mindfulness. I think one of the great gifts of mindfulness is growing our capacity to not be so reactive, so driven by the winds, whether they are winds that blow within us or from the outside. And one of the ways we cultivate, and we've been speaking to this, equanimity, one of the ways we cultivate equanimity is by noticing how we get caught up in the winds, tangled, entangled. And as Susan likes to say, in a twizzle, I'm in a twizzle, I'm in a twizzle. We can feel into equanimity by studying the ways we get caught. And then we bring a kind curiosity about how we are getting entangled, how we are meeting this entanglement. We name it. We see it, feel it. Because when we can do this, even if it's just a little bit, we are out of the pattern, even if it's just a little sliver out of that pattern, and we can work a little more skillfully. We give deliberate, heartfelt attention to how reactivity is triggered and how we lose our balance, and what is required to help us regain more balance, a little more calm, firmer ground under the feet again. Smooth out the sharp edges of disturbance. This is how calm feels in the body and in the breath, heart and mind. And you know, sometimes for some of us, we are learning to even tolerate calm, becoming more or willing to orient ourselves in the direction of calm, because agitated mind can get pretty addicted, habituated, well-grooved. I think all of us have some idea about how to approach equanimity. And it really is for each of us to find our own way, what we resonate with. Gil Fonsdale is a teacher out of Spirit Rock, and he speaks about equanimity as like a person on a tight rope, with a long pole for balance. Right? Whoa, like feeling that out of balance, back in, out, in. A dance, really. Feeling the constant sway back into balance and out of it. The metaphor for the balance pole, of course, is our practice. And whether we are wobbly or in balance, it doesn't matter. What matters is our noticing. Our noticing, because we care enough to notice. And many of you were here when we were exploring the worldly winds, and boy, those winds can be subtle and very intense. And when they blow, we can get caught up and entangled, tightly identified with what is going on. I'm to blame. I'm so wonderful. I'm a failure. The content doesn't even really matter. It is more about noticing that we are caught in reactive patterns. We get knocked over, pumped up, smashed down. Our hearts broken. Life's winds. And we never know when one of them is going to come whooshing around the corner. We don't know what is going to happen in the next moment. And of course, we want something that we can come back to, that we can trust, that there is a place to come back to where we can rest and gather the energies of our breath, our bodies, our hearts and minds. And this is the practice of the holding environment that we set up again and again and again with a deliberate, heartfelt attention, because it matters. And in the holding environment, we feel into an atmosphere of goodwill and encourage kindness and care. We want to create the conditions that support our hearts to open and to stabilize and be more at ease. And for us to grow even a little more poise or suppleness in our lives. We all need to come out of that tight view, out of that Jaye view, out of that constricted view that is conditioned based on history and culture and beliefs, and reified and open into a wider mindfulness view that senses there is something far vaster that we are a part of. We begin to just get exhausted from the stories and the gripping and the grasping, intuiting something else is available for us. Maybe a place where we can rest, even if for a little while. So equanimity asks, can we stand or sit or walk in the midst of how life is? And each time we tether the breath to the body and the body to the ground, and ground the live wire of emotions, we see a little more clearly. The mud does begin to settle. Equanimity asks, can we stand, sit, or walk in the midst of how life is right now, as it is, as you are. This is our practice. I'm going to close with this poem. And Lori, please put it in the chat for us. Thank you. It is entitled, Peace is This Moment, Without Judgment, by Dorothy Hunt. Do you think peace requires an end to war, or tigers eating only vegetables? Does peace require an absence from your boss, your spouse, yourself? Do you think peace will come from some other place than here? Some other place than now? In some other heart than yours? Peace is this moment without judgment. That is all. This moment is the heart space where everything that is. Welcome. Peace is this moment without thinking that it should be some other way, that you should feel some other thing, or that your life should unfold according to your plans. Peace is this moment without judgment, this moment in the heart space where everything that is. Welcome. Thank you, everybody, for listening.